Welcome! Me and Adam have seen the new season. Isn't that right, Adam?
We have watched the new season of Dragon's Rising.
And
we're gonna be talking about it.
We got some thoughts here, and we also have a person.
We have a special guest, is what he's trying to say.
Welcome.
Don't mind him.
Me and Adam have. Oh.
All right, that's your cue, special guest.
Oh. Hey guys, it's me, Landon. You might know me from the Green Poggers channel, and I have finally been invited to the Lego channel with Mr. Green and Mr. Bog here to talk about Season 4. I cannot wait. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm ready. I've been looking forward to it all day.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, since you're looking forward to it, Landon, what do you think overall of the new season? Like, do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? Or did you enjoy it?
I think my first impressions are very strong. I think this was a very good way to kick off Season 4.
Okay.
Okay.
So, are you ready to hear what me and Steven think about it?
I am curious. We have not talked about this, obviously. We're waiting for the stream, so lay it on me.
Well, we thought it was pretty mid.
Really?
I feel like this might be the weakest part of Dragon's Rising.
This is the worst part of Dragon's Rising so far.
See, I didn't want to say worst, because that makes it sound like we don't like it. And we
No,
do like it.
I do like it. I did enjoy it. Episode 6 and up.
Yes. So...
The first half was boring. I'll be honest. Nothing happened in the first episode, in the first patch. It was, Ryu, Frack, and Sora in that like random area at the beginning. No, this is like the first episode when they were trapped in that area where it's like, oh, whoever you think of like appears. They were there for way too long. And then there was just Lloyd, Aaron, and Euphrasia just kind of walking mindlessly.
Yes. I honestly, I think the main issue is the pacing. Like, the pacing
was pretty bad here.
Like, you couldn't really, like, get into, like, one side of the story for very long before it jumped to, like, what, I don't know, like, Kai and them are doing, and then it jumps to what Sora and her group are doing, and then it jumps back to Lloyd, and it's like
immediately
it
doesn't give you enough time to like
to
focus. Yeah,
like I was genuinely getting like lost. Like it was bad. Like, and I remember people complaining about the pacing in Season 3. I never really had that big.
I did not have a problem with Season 3 at all. This is where it's like, wow, the pacing. Like, we were struggling to like actually put things together and figure out what is happening.
The best way to put it is that it made it feel like there was nothing going on, but also too much going on at the same time. It was really weird. And this is a thing that's an issue with both parts of Season 3 as well, is like, it really took them a long time to get into, like, the main plot of the season with, like, the Loyalists. Like Season 3 Part 1 took them a long time to get into the main plot with the Forbidden Five, and Season 3 Part 2...
Yo, what's up,
had the issue where
Matt?
it took them too long to get into the main plot with the Spectral Dragonian and Thunderfang, and now we have the same issue here. So, like, I don't really like how that's been a reoccurring issue, where it takes them, like, half of the part to actually start acknowledging, like, the villains and trying to stop them, you know?
Yeah. What about your thoughts, Landon? Because we kind of just like on like the first.
What do you think about what we've said so far?
Based off the the limited discussions we had about it, I knew you guys probably had. I knew some things stuck out to you that maybe didn't stick out to me, and I do agree that I think the pacing was a little bit rough around the edges. Like, some of the transitions weren't as smooth as others, and I was definitely hoping to get back into certain plots as opposed to other ones. It definitely It definitely is. I'm on the call. No, I don't work tomorrow. No,
No, it does not work tomorrow.
I do not. Sorry,
doesn't.
guys. Sorry,
That's-
guys. But yeah, I think I always think it was going to be like an issue balancing all this because we've talked about this off stream before, but it's getting to a point where there just are so many like quote unquote main characters in Dragon's Rising that not all of them can get their due diligence every season, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We can't even get all the ninja in a set wave, which is crazy.
Yeah, true. I think one thing they could have done is just have like one episode focus on
One or like two groups at a time.
two groups at most. Yeah,
Like have one half be group A, second half group B, and then the next episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been.
There was
goodness.
no way Landon on an episode of Building with Bog and his little psychic green before GTA 6. Wicked. Sounds good.
I
Okay,
know, it's
good.
crazy, right?
Yeah. What was your favorite group? Like, cause we had 4 different groups going on. What was your favorite group?
I've thought about this actually a fair bit, and obviously, for those of you who don't know, my favorite ninja is Kai, and it's not
Hey,
just
Isles.
because whatever
Hey,
group
Isle.
Kai's in is my
Sorry.
favorite. No, you're good. You're good. Hello. Not just because Kai's my favorite. I'm like whatever group he's in, but the plot I enjoyed the most was Kai, Nia, and Jay.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I agree with you.
How-
I agree with you.
I'm sorry. We don't know how to do proper like reviews. We're just kind of gonna go all over the place.
Yeah,
just
we're
as a
kinda,
heads
like,
up.
talking
Yeah,
about
I
like,
took
what we
some
think
mental
about the
notes,
season.
but-
I did not take any mental notes at all. I'm just talking and hoping it makes sense.
And if anyone watching wants to join in and like comment how you feel about the season or what we're saying, feel free to. But honestly, I think even though Cole kind of had like the least to do out of like each group, he was like low-key kind of my favorite to watch.
he was up there. He was one of my favorites. I did
Cole
really
was my
like Cole's
favorite
little
ninja
side.
this season.
Cole
No, I
was
think
really good
Cole-
this season.
I think Cole is my second favorite, like little team.
Yeah, mine was like Kai's group, then Cole's, then Sora's, then Lloyd's. That's how I would rank mine.
Yeah, Lloyd's was kind of
Lloyd's was kind of boring. Half of it in the first 5 episodes, they were just walking, talking to the dragon, and then another episode, or maybe 2. It because they jumped around so much, it's hard to
Yeah, we
figure
don't
out
know
what
what episode, yeah.
episodes happen in what. But when he
will
gets
say
to the
though-
thing, and then Lloyd's doing his side quest, while the others just stand around and do nothing.
I know, like, Aaron had nothing to do this season. Aaron, Euphrasia, and Zane basically did just
They
stand
just
around
stood
the
there
whole
and,
time.
and talked the entire time. Yeah.
In regards to Zane, though, I think Zane was handled very well this season.
I don't
still
think so.
disagree.
I don't think
I still
so.
disagree.
That is actually crazy. I'm
No,
surprised.
he's. They can never fix what they've broken. They try, and don't get me wrong, they try. I can tell they are trying. They had a throwaway line with the dragon saying, "You're a robot, but yet you have so much human emotions," or whatever the quote was.
But then, like, when Bro meets up with Lloyd, he's like, "Oh yes, I told a joke and I laughed for approximately 52 seconds." Like,
And Pixel,
that's not how it should be. That he's still just beep boop robot boy. Like, that's all it is. I've kind of lost hope on them ever fixing Zane. Honestly,
I think
still
like
wasn't impressed with it.
I think it can be done, and this is like a step in the right direction. But like, I don't think they'll like ever get to Zane's former glory. He's just a shell of his former self.
I just don't think the current writers really understand what Zane was kind of meant to be initially.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. But I would like to hear it from your perspective, Landon, since
Yeah.
you did say you liked how he was handled.
Well, I mean, we mentioned this before, and there were like these rumblings going on about how Zane's personality was going to reflect more of his older self, and
Yeah.
which was exciting because honestly, I don't think, and I know we've talked about this as well. I think Zane, ever since like after Tournament of Elements, has just kind of gone downhill. Has become very one note as a character.
Yeah.
He's just
He
like,
has.
oh, the beep boop, and we joke we call him a clanker, but he really is just a robot, honestly. But I will say, there were some lines in season 4 that I was like, it's like you're so close to like getting there, you're just not there yet.
know.
But like his
Like,
introduction is what really got me excited. Like where he jumps out of the helicopter and is like, surprise, surprise. I thought I was cheering a little bit internally. I'm like, okay, at least he didn't say, well, are you surprised by my calculated appearance? You know what I'm saying? Like he sounded more natural, like more human. There were more moments of that than there were in season 3, which we all thought was going to be like his season, which was interesting.
I agree, like in the way that it is like a step in the right direction for him. I just don't think they're there yet with it.
Yeah. Also, Pixel really did only have one line.
She did.
Yeah.
First swear word on the channel. Oh goodness, who said a swear word? Was it me? It was probably me.
When I said the C word.
And it's a.
Oh, come on, Landon.
You
yeah.
said the C word? What's. I would say what C word, but I don't want you to say it again.
I just said it, yeah, so.
Yeah, you have to look back.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Never mind.
You did.
I know what you're saying.
It's so funny that it took you that long to like realize.
Yeah, you're usually faster than that. But no,
Usually is.
I don't think he was perfect in this season, but I did enjoy his presence, and I think like you said, they're taking steps in the right direction. I really hope we don't get like the 11-minute era Zane, which was the worst of the worst.
I don't want.
Yeah, I hope we don't
want the 11-minute
backtrack.
era version of any character.
No.
Yeah, they were all there at their worst. I think.
Yeah.
If we ever get back to crystallized Zane, my heart will just shatter completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But I think he was good, and I enjoyed his presence, and I hope things continue to improve. So that's, I guess, my thoughts on Zane.
What were your? We were talking about this when we were watching. Landon, what were your thoughts when Rapton showed up being like Jay's BFF?
I'm not as high on Rapton as you two, but I will say with him being like the freebooters, basically just like cheap bounty hunters and treasure hunters, I think it makes sense for Jay during his rogue time to have known him, and I think he made for a pretty fun little segment. Honestly, I did enjoy him.
He is always a highlight when he shows up. I really like
always.
Nah, it's always. Every time I'm like, oh, it's Rapton.
Hey, I'd rather him than Top Hat Boy.
Or the other person that I just forgot her name, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, Gandalaria. I could go without ever seeing her in the show ever again.
Yeah.
Slag merchants. Oh, what a steal of a deal!
You didn't have to like.
You're never coming back.
You're never.
Okay, make sure to.
You know, actually, speaking of her, this is another issue I'm starting to have with Ninjago. Is
oh my gosh, yeah, we were talking about this the whole entire time.
Character, any side character is given such like a wacky, zany voice to where I cannot understand what they're saying.
It took us till episode 6. No. Like 8?
It was whatever episode Sora said Umbra Sylvis to actually know what that place was called.
Yeah, because we just couldn't understand what they were saying.
Like all the side characters, like you could not understand them. You cannot understand them. Like I get you want them to have like, I don't know, for some reason like this zany sounding voice, but I can't understand it.
I can't understand them.
I can't understand it. Like, can we just do normal voices for these side characters, please?
You don't like Johnny Confidence?
No, actually, he was kind of funny. And it was a twist villain, actually.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like he'd be rocking with Clutch Powers back in the day.
Oh,
yeah.
Absolutely.
I was
all of the Explorer.
I did. I like the one who kept on getting bullied. as soon as I saw him, I was like, "That's our friend group right there."
Yeah, that's us bullying Landon.
Either us bullying Landon or you guys bullying me. Is one or the other, but it's just that, and it depends on the day or the minute, and that I thought that was really funny. I did like that. What about Frack's dad? Bro, what are your thoughts on Frack's dad?
I think he is a horrible father.
He's a horrible father.
I like his voice a lot.
He has a fun voice. He does have a cool voice.
I think he's actually the gentleman who plays. I think his name is David Kay. David Kay plays Frack, and they got his father to play Reginald, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I saw the wiki mention that, and I'm like, that can't be a coincidence.
That's pretty cool, actually.
It's just funny that like he has like such a stink accent, and Frack's like, "You guys were so cool before. Well, why can't we be friends?"
You guys are so cool.
And then you get Reginald like,
"Hey, Sonny."
Back in my day, I used to have to dig for my food.
Yeah.
Bro's last name is Slitherbottom. Like,
average snake name.
I mean, it's not that far off from being as goofy as Chumsworth, I guess.
Yeah.
But I definitely I relate to Gweeb a lot. I was thinking about that too when I was watching the episodes. I'm like, I am Gweeb. I'm the Gweeb.
I am Gweeb. He just looks in the
name Gweeb.
I think it's Gweeb or Gweep. It's like GWEEP or B.
I did like that.
I need
Lennon looks in the mirror and be like, every day I want to be closer to him. I want to be just like him when I grow up.
No, sorry, it's Gweeg.
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 Would you have to check the wiki for that?
Yeah, you did.
I'm on the wiki right now.
What about what else can we like go to? That one, the monsters. The monsters. What are your thoughts on the monsters, Landon?
I freaking love the elemental monsters.
Which was your favorite?
Earth.
Okay.
Earth is my favorite. I like the little scarab beetle design it's got going on.
Now, here's my take. At first, okay, the best one is the mutation monster. He's always been the best one, and he's the coolest of them by far. Okay, and you cannot convince me.
Like scenes.
He has the best scenes, and he was actually like in like Sora's like their story, pretty important. Okay, at first they were cool. The first fight scene when they're introduced, that one was cool.
It was.
And then the
action scenes this season are next level. But go ahead.
And then what happens is you go across the season, and then you run into the monsters again in the woods. They fight, and then they disappear. They despawn, and then they're talking, and they're like, "Oh no, they're back!" And then they have to do the same exact fight all over again, and then it just got repetitive.
Dude is passionate about this.
Yeah, we gotta do the stakes here for content, you know.
But yeah, I really do kind of agree with Steven, because like I think they were really cool at first, but then when they just like
showed up,
they just kept
random, especially
in.
like kept on spawning in randomly. Like there's no reason for them to be there. Just like we need to fight. Okay, it's because the loyalists are secret. Here's the monsters. They're just gonna appear out of nowhere. Like I understand, like it's like the dragons, so they gotta like it's like the elemental dragon things and blah blah blah. But like it wasn't fun. It wasn't entertaining. Like the fight scenes that they did, some of them were cool. Like again, the mutation monster. Because that whole scene was because Sora's whole story focus, like her groups, was solely focused on mutation monster. He actually had like a decent amount of screen time, and I do like him. The others just appear, die, and then they respawn an episode later just to die again.
So to sum that up for everyone, he's basically saying how the when the monsters just kind of keep appearing, like just spawning in, and then they like it gets a little old, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're going on an adventure and like running into monsters that they have to fight or anything. It's just Zane, Aaron, and them standing around, and then monsters spawn in, and then they despawn, and then an episode later they spawn in again, and they have to fight them again.
Yeah.
And then they get killed, and then they spawn in again, and it's like, oh my gosh, like
Can we get
Like,
something
it's
new,
like,
please?
It's just repetitive, yeah.
So just like mindless like like enemies too. Like there wasn't like anything crazy that they were doing. They were just using like their generic attacks.
Yeah. I do still think that they're cool.
I think
but
that they're cool, but
I wish they were utilized a little bit better.
yeah.
Also, speaking of fight scenes, actually no, Landon, do you want to talk about the monsters more?
Yeah, I guess just to comment on it again, I understand your guys' perspective. I mean, I'm very open to like feedback. Obviously, that's why I was looking forward to it. Just talking about Ninjago, which is like one of my
Yeah.
favorite things ever. But I disagree that it felt like repetitive or random because their whole thing is that they're like canonically just these beings of unstable power and rage and destruction. So I don't necessarily mind them just like popping in to be an inconvenience and just like an obstacle, especially with the powers on the fritz and everything. I mean, they are able to be dealt with later, but I think it just fits. I guess I want to say their character, even though they don't really have character. I think they're just. It's a cool concept in that they really leaned into like the chaotic energy of them, and I think it worked out well.
I guess to elaborate on, I guess like what we're trying to say with it is that I like the monsters in the finale. I like the monsters when they're first introduced. And I like the whole plot point with the mutation monster with like Sora's group and all that. But it's just like, these guys are appearing all across the merged lands. Like a random fire monster showed up in the middle of the crossroads. What are the chances that these monsters would just keep spawning in exactly where like Zane and Euphrasia are over and over and over
it's
and over? And
I compared like a video game where they just had to throw enemies just to keep like the player like engaged.
And it's like, and once again, like when they are in a fight with these monsters, they do the same thing. It's like, the earth monsters always shooting tar, and the acid monsters spitting acid, and then like the ice and fire monster are doing their weird spin dash thing. Like it's kind of just the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it does get repetitive.
So
like,
it's mainly just repetitive, I guess is what we're trying to say.
Also, it is weird that every time any of them saw them for the first, I'm like, it's the elements. Like, how did you figure that out so quickly?
That really annoyed me when
That-
Aaron and Lloyd got into a fight with the acid monster and the earth monster, and Lloyd just automatically somehow knows that these are beings of pure elemental energy.
Yeah.
Like right off the bat.
And then everyone else right off the bat immediately guessed.
Yeah, like Sora of all people is like, oh, that must be a monster of elemental power. Like, how does Sora manage to figure that out just by looking at the mutation monster, right?
Yeah.
That kind of bugged me.
Oh my gosh, what about I'm again jumping over other plays. We didn't like plan this out. We're kind of just talking to talk. What were your thoughts on Ryu's fake out death, Landon?
It was an interesting way to explain his new form, which we knew he was gonna get because of the set, and he had like his updated design in the 15th anniversary Weekend Whip music video. It was interesting, and like the connection between him and Ron too. I did think that was kind of cool seeing her at the Spectral Lands with Egalt, and Moro showed up, so I guess Moro's not super dead, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm glad he did come back. Will he do anything? Probably not, but
no,
I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, I'm glad that was confirmed in the context of the show,
and
as opposed
not
to
Blue Sky. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's interesting I think it's interesting the connection that Ryu and Rontu have, because within the show, I feel like they didn't interact for super long in terms of training. But I don't know. I think it was kind of like hard to wrap my head around a little bit, but like nothing I wasn't able to brush off after a little bit either.
Yeah, I did like Ryu really did start aura farming on the mutation monster.
Yeah,
though.
but like, why did it take us like 3 episodes, or was it 2? I again couldn't tell, just for it to like yeah, we all know he's not actually going to die, guys.
It's because they
Why-
had to jump around in between everyone every 2 seconds. So they didn't have time to get there earlier.
So like Ryu's been dying for like the past 3 episodes. It's like we get it. Can you just turn
It
into
was so
big? Can you just
stretched
grow now? Like it felt so stretched out now. So every time it got to him like dying, being ever like, okay, let's get it on.
And it's like, I know he's not gonna die. I have the Lego set.
This is a Lego Ninjago show.
he's
If you're
not
a main
gonna die.
character, you're not going anywhere.
I did actually think Rontu was gonna die.
I did think Rontu was going to die because she wasn't a main character, so I thought she had a good chance. But unlike the fake out death with Rontu, I think that one like works better than Ryu's because it was a
It did,
character.
because I actually did think she was gonna die.
Yeah,
so
and
I guess it worked.
I guess it worked also because it wasn't a main character. Like
Yeah.
Eagle died, I wouldn't be surprised if they killed off Rontu like soon
Exactly.
after. So like it was a believable. That one was a good fake out death, but Ryu's wasn't. And the hundreds of Zane ones that we could talk about, those ones weren't either. But we're not going to talk
I'm
about
so
the
glad
Zane
there
ones.
wasn't a Zane fake out death. in
Yeah,
this season.
Ryu took the spot. Get ready for part 2. He will have one.
Landon, what do you think we're saying? Like, how do you feel about like all the pacing issues we're bringing up here? Like, do you like agree with it at all, or were you perfectly fine with how long Ryu was quote unquote dying for?
I wouldn't say I was perfectly fine with it. I do agree that there was some like the pacing just felt weird at some times too, like just like slightly off, and it could have been improved, I guess. So I agree that the pacing was an issue. I guess I didn't put much thought into it as you guys did, which isn't a bad thing at all. Obviously, I do acknowledge that it's not like the most well-paced story that Ninjago's ever told, even outside of Dragon's
Yeah.
Rising.
That's what I feel like is like the main issue with this season. Really, is the pacing.
Yeah. What else? Oh, Jay's memories. Let's talk about that.
I actually think
Yeah.
they handled that pretty well.
I thought they handled that one pretty well. I also like the part where he got his memories back, and then like Jay and Neo were like kissing, and then like it took like 5 episodes till next time they see them, and they're still kissing. That one was funny. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I
funny.
wasn't expecting them to start literally just making out. Like, can you imagine making out in front of your sibling? Like,
Yeah, he was like, dude, that's my sister. Stop it.
Yeah,
well, that's
that
his
line
wife.
that line from Kai felt very pilot focused. Like, dude, that's my sister. I
Yeah.
like that a lot.
Yeah, also like Jay like doing all the callback. Totem of Elements was a while. I mean, of course, Prime Empire had to be mentioned.
oh, they can't go a season without mentioning Prime Empire.
But Tournament of Elements was a crazy callback.
You know what's the
Yeah, I
craziest
don't-
callback, or actually the lack thereof? There was no Skybound whatsoever.
No, during the flashbacks when they were getting, the memories, I was surprised that there was no Skybound.
Yeah, like it was like, and full transparency, I actually shed a few tears during that scene.
Understandable.
I did cry a little bit. I
That
ain't gonna
was
lie.
pretty emotional.
I loved the way it was edited and everything. I think some of the clips were like I wouldn't have expected it to start with a clip of him and Wisp. I mean that was cool. Obviously, Wisp is being the dragon's name. I know Ball, but yeah. So some of the clips were interesting. Like I love all of Ninjago for what it is.
Yeah.
So it's just cool seeing these things, like these older scenes. And Adam and I had talked about this. I mean, we all talked about this, but me and Adam had this opinion. I would say that it really seems like sometimes they're just like retconning the pre-season 8 designs. So I'm glad they
Yeah.
didn't limit the flashbacks to Sons of Garmadon till now.
yeah,
like,
I'm
that
glad-
was nice.
I'm really glad we got to see the true potential scene and like some of the early scenes, but like it's just so weird how like they prioritize putting like Jay as like the game show host in, but there's like nothing from Skybound, which is like
Yeah.
Jay and Nia's story. Like that's
Yeah.
even more so than Prime Empire and Crystallized.
You know what I hope that they do in part 2? I hope they reference the love triangle.
Yeah, like a memory comes back. I do like that aspect a lot too, where memories just kind of pop in like after a little bit.
Yeah.
So like we don't have Jay back completely, which I don't think we should because I don't want 11-minute era Jay.
I don't think we'll get 11-minute era. Like he's still.
I really hope so. Not that I mean, but
If they go backwards, that would suck. But continue.
Even if it's just for season 4, like we get season 5 and it's not like a thing as much anymore. I would like it if memories just keep popping in. Like they're like in the middle of a fight in part 2 for some reason, and he just like looks at Cole and is like, "Dude, why'd you hit on Nia that one time?"
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
When Jay was laughing, I thought that was gonna bring up the love triangle.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad that wasn't a reference to something that happened in a previous.
Yeah, it was just like a random thing.
I don't know. I don't think they're going to reference the love triangle because I think they know that the community kind of hates it.
I mean, they didn't
Yeah.
do anything of Rebooted either.
No.
Well, that's because Rebooted is mid.
Yeah.
What about the what else can we talk about? I want to save like the final like bad like couple episode stuff till last. Is there anything else we could talk about? Oh, Lloyd's whole arc. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, we should talk about.
We should
that.
talk about that. That's like the main.
I'm gonna grab some water real quick, but you guys can start. Now I'll join in.
Okay. Well, kind of sucks that Lloyd's whole arc kind of made the rest of his team do nothing but stand around. Actually, before we get into Lloyd's arc, speaking of his team, why were Euphrasia and Aaron getting weirdly flirty?
I don't know. We were talking about that when we were
Nope.
They
Right.
barely like, as far as I'm aware, they had like maybe like 1, maybe 2 scenes before this.
I don't even know if I don't even know if they've had that, to be honest. I don't know if they've ever been seen on screen talking to each other.
Like I
before
think in
this.
season 1 when Euphrasia was first introduced, or was that no? I think that was actually Lloyd and Euphrasia. Like
Yeah,
maybe
it was
Aaron
that,
was
like-
there. Like maybe they said something to each other.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about Aaron and Euphrasia and how they're weirdly
Yeah.
like I don't know, like
They
it
were
just feels
weirdly
weird, like-
flirty. It's kind of out of character because like
Yeah,
they
'cause, like,
barely
he's-
talked to each other.
You know what?
Yeah,
Honestly, it feels like tying back into what you were saying, Adam, with Aaron not having to do much. It honestly just kind of feels like they wanted to give him something to do, but they didn't know what to do.
Aaron had nothing to do with this.
So they
whole
just said,
thing.
love interest, Euphrasia,
Yeah,
go!
With Euphrasia now.
And she's just like there when you pick the
Yeah.
season up.
Yeah, that was
think-
also
I think-
weird.
I think it's
She
implied
is
that she
weird.
was like she got there before Lloyd and Aaron.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It's not the biggest deal that she's there. I like Euphrasia. I think she's a cool character. I don't think she should join the ninja just because we
No,
can't.
I
do
think
everything
it's gonna be like a
outside.
Geo situation where she's just kind of there, but she's not part of the main team. That's
I
my
think that's
guess.
probably
And
the
that's
You
best
gotta
scenario.
wonder what the whole point of even having her in this season was, though, because she really didn't do anything.
I
No.
think it might just be.
to give Aaron something to do.
I mean that. Like I think that
It-
might be.
It's
That
just
might actually be
Aaron love interest.
might actually be why she's here. But okay, we should actually talk
Yeah,
about Lloyd
Lloyd's
now.
thing. Yeah. So, what were your thoughts on Atlanta? And I thought it was pretty cool.
It was actually.
I
Pretty
think
cool.
it was debatably the highest point of the whole season. As much as, even if it's not my favorite like team, like plot line, I think it was really good. And
Like, unfortunately, I have to disagree because they had to constantly cut between that and everything the other two teams were doing.
I will agree. I think
Like-
there should have just been a whole episode of Lloyd.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I genuinely kept forgetting that Lloyd was even like a thing,
Yeah.
and it really did kind of ruin what should have been like amazing.
Peak.
Like I still liked it,
I still like.
but
Yeah.
it was like, how was that at the very least not one whole episode? And then like because it wasn't just one whole episode, and because they had to cut to the other ninjas like every 2 minutes, it just led to it feeling like it took
forever.
long as well, like longer than it should have.
Yeah.
You know? So I
mean,
liked
yeah.
it for what it was. I don't know why they edited it the way they did. I don't know why they had to be like, yes, we have to cut in between each group every 3 minutes, so you can't get invested in any of their stories.
Yeah.
It really did ruin it for me, but I still think it was good for what it was. It was nice seeing Jillian Michaels return as Child Lloyd and
Yeah.
seeing all that.
I to comment on Jillian Michaels specifically, if the young Lloyd thing was really not that much of a focus like I thought it would be. So I'm actually surprised that they went out of their way, because I know people were like apprehensive, because in season 1 of Dragons Rising, for those of you who don't know, they had a flashback of young Lloyd and it was Sam Vincent.
Just doing like a younger impression, right?
Yeah, it was fine for what it was, but obviously, the three of us and like many people were fans of the OG show, so we know what Lloyd sounded like. It was a different actress, and it was off-putting. And I definitely appreciate the fact that they went out of their way to get Jillian back, even if it wasn't really for a lot. So I feel like they could have easily just had Sam do the same thing again. But it does show that they care, I feel like, a lot, just to get her back.
Also, that one part where they showed like the scroll and then they added everyone but like Ryu and Wildfire.
Yeah, I thought it was really funny that
Wildfire wasn't on there.
Wildfire was not on that.
Omitted from it. Yeah,
she was not on the scroll.
That is really weird.
I guess that means like Lloyd doesn't like her, I guess.
Maybe.
Alright, why should I get a dragon form?
That's why none of the ninjas got dragon forms. It was so funny. It's like, you're like, oh, my friends are all connect me. They really did pull the Lego Ninjago movie green.
We gotta save that for the end, though. I got some thoughts on there that might take me a while.
Okay. But like also like with like the enemy Lloyd, that wasn't the CMF Lloyd. It was just
that was really
the suit
weird.
with the dark. It was just dark green, same suit.
I really think CMF Lloyd
might be like a Legends. Yeah,
I really think that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, if it wasn't enemy Lloyd, then it's probably gonna be a Legends.
I mean, because in that Comic-Con picture, like we mentioned, that's been going around from 2025. You can see that CMF Lloyd's hair, so that's obviously a Lloyd figure. I am just shocked it wasn't a flashback Lloyd. But with that being said, the flashback Lloyd suit we do get is pretty cool, because I do like dark green Lloyd suits. We don't get them a lot, but it was pretty cool looking. But
the enemy Lloyd fight was pretty cool. Yeah, I did enjoy that fight.
I think when we got to focus on Lloyd, his stuff was great.
Yeah, and then as soon as I was like getting into it, it swapped to another POV. But yeah.
Oh, I just realized I'm looking at some stuff on just like for reference, and as we're talking, I cannot believe going back to Cole, I cannot believe they actually gave Cole a gun for a few seconds.
I know.
Yeah,
no, I popped off when they had the gun.
I didn't think he was going to have the gun, and then that was the first of the weapons he used in the show.
Yeah, I popped off when he used the gun. I was so excited.
Yeah.
I was like, Adam, it's the gun! It's the gun! And he's like, yes, it is the gun.
It was
Shut up.
Cool. That was very cool. And I guess we'll bring this rather big element up. Cole was fighting Empress Beatrix.
Yeah, that was cool.
So she is back.
Yeah, what do we think about like the loyalists and all that? Because
I thought they were pretty cool. It was pretty interesting that they were just kind of everywhere. Like, ooh, you're actually a spy, and you're a spy. Which was a little strange on how they got so far in between into like different realms. I guess they were looking for the main weapon.
Yeah, but I do like
they
that,
were
like where they're just like you don't know like where they're planted, you know?
Yeah, I really did like it. It's such a shame that like
it
kind of seems like the loyalist thing is already like over.
Yeah, unless like it does come back in part 2.
Unless it does.
Like I'm pretty confident that it will. Like 90%
I don't
sure.
think it will. I think the loyalists are kind of done. I could be wrong.
Could be
but-
wrong. Yeah, you never know.
I hope you're wrong, but I guess I wouldn't be surprised.
Because they were interested.
like-
They were cool.
Yeah, like I liked the whole thing with trying to bring the Empress back and all that. I like it does kind of suck, like, once again, that they don't really get acknowledged until so late into the part.
Yeah.
But like they were cool for what they were, and Dr. LaRoe as the loyalist leader is pretty cool as well.
She is pretty cool.
I guess she doesn't really do too much besides like command the other loyalists.
But she's also not really
but,
like a fighter, so it
yeah,
makes
she's
sense.
not really like a fighter either. So yeah, like it makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, like Empress Beatrix was really cool in this season. I mean, I liked her a lot in season 1. Like, I know not that many people really care for her that much. No, I feel like she's a pretty good villain. I like the whole.
She was a good like beginner villain.
Yeah, like and like
Introduction
a
to
more
the villain,
interesting villain that we haven't really seen from Ninjago before, because she's like I guess like a corrupt politician.
Yeah.
So I found her like deception and like her what's the word? Her propaganda. Like I found it all very interesting. I
it
really
was
liked,
interesting. I did like it.
I really liked how she like manipulated the people of Imperium a lot in season 1. I think it made her a pretty cool bad guy, you know? And she like this just makes her even cooler, I feel. Like don't get me wrong, she's not like an S tier villain or anything, but like she's really cool.
She is
Like
cool.
I like how she got sent to the land of monsters, and she's just like fighting monsters out of pure like rage and hatred, and then somehow kind of becomes one herself in a way.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
she like merged into like the suit. I guess this is when we could
Yeah.
start like talking about like the ends.
Well, yeah, because I remember tying it to monstrosity. There's a line Kai says is, "In the land of monsters, it's only a matter of time before you become a monster yourself," which I think is a really good tie into monstrosity. But I also just like the idea that like the land of monsters is just like this really stylized realm.
Yeah, I really liked how it changed styles. Like, I think
Yeah.
that was just like a bunch of like basically like comic book pages or whatever.
But it
that they
was
basically
interesting.
slapped
It
on the
was
screen.
it was
But
unique.
It was cool. It was like a
Yeah.
cool change in art style. And I liked it a lot. It was very cool.
Yeah, it was very.
Yeah, it reminded
cool.
me of like something from like Monkey Kid.
Yeah. Yeah, it did kind of feel a little bit like that, yeah.
It was very cool, and her design with like her being fused to like her mech that she
Her
was
being
sent
fused,
away
and that was cool.
Like,
Yeah,
it's honestly like super mature. I feel like for Ninjago. Like I remember
Yeah, that
Cyrus
was
Borg-
that was pretty dark.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that scene of Cyrus Borg being turned into like his Ninjoid half. That was like
Oh
pretty
yeah,
dark.
where they like rip them apart, yeah.
Yeah, like that reminds me of that, and I'm like, I know it's like not like the most like graphic thing
Not
ever,
like
but
actually
like
graphic.
yeah, but the
like, I
fact
guess
But it
it's
was,
just
like,
kind of
pretty
body
dark,
horror
yeah.
to an extent.
but like the fact that like we see her head and like the upper part of her torso, and that's like potentially all that's left of her like human body is like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's like all like a part of her now, and she's just like this biomechanical.
Kind of reminds
guess
me
monster.
of like. So I saw this on like a Twitter post as well, and I'm like, yeah, they're right. It reminds me of like the Harumi concept art for Crystallized.
Yes, the Harumi Landon, do you know about the Harumi concept art for Crystallized?
I do.
Good.
Yeah, where she was supposed to be like a spider
Cyborg.
cyborg thing.
This
Yeah,
did
it
give
is-
off.
It is similar to
It-
that.
it's like they went back to the idea with Beatrix. Kinda.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like her in this season. I do hope this isn't like the end for her.
Because they
and the
were
Loyalists,
they were
but-
interesting. They were
but, like,
very
man,
interesting.
Like the season just ends with their defeat. Like
Yeah, like I don't
they
know
were
unless
defeated.
unless she breaks out. Again,
mean, with
she
her,
is
like,
now a giant mech.
Yeah, with her big mech body, I feel like it's gonna be hard to contain her. But like,
You never know.
I wouldn't be
Like,
upset if we seeing her again.
Yeah, because like the main reason why I feel like she probably is done for, and like I could be wrong, but like the season literally ends with Roz getting another Source Dragon icon. So like I really feel like that's kind of them alluding to where part two is gonna pick up from. I
Yeah,
could be
could be wrong.
really far off the mark here, and I could be super wrong, but like it just feels weird that like if she is gonna be the main villain of season four the whole way through, why end it with her defeat? Like, and I know they did that with Thunderfang too, and even with him, I'm like, why even like why do that? Like it's just weird.
Yeah,
So, do we
Um,
want to start talking about the final battle?
yeah, yeah, we can talk about the final
I
battle.
think we've covered most of our bases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's dive in.
Alrighty, Lana, do you want to start? Because you said you had a lot of things to say.
Yeah, I like how it takes place in Imperium again. I do just like that realm slash city, and I feel like the stakes were pretty high too, with the powers being on the fritz. Oh, and I guess I do have to mention. Apparently, Sora has just like mastered Spinjitzu now, and no one's mentioned it.
Yeah, I
I
thought.
genuinely don't remember her learning spin jutsu.
Yeah,
When
we
did
we
that
brought
happen?
it up when she started using spinjitzu. I was like, did Aaron teach her? Like, did she learn it off screen? Like, we
she
were.
He was using it to like how Aaron was using it in season one, where it's like a little tornado. She was doing that in season three, but like when we pick up with them in season four, she just has a full tornado, which I
Yeah,
kind of thought was like
a little
that's
weird.
cool. It's very cool, but like I feel like people should be
When did she
reacting.
learn it?
Yeah, I feel like people should be
Uh,
reacting to it a lot
Also,
more.
Ryu also learned spinjitzu too at the end.
Of
I don't
season
know if
three.
he did a tornado at the end of season 4.
Yeah, but he learned it at the end of season
Yeah,
three.
but also here's another thing. Again, I'm going away from the final battle because it's just popped in my mind. It's so funny how Jay was saying like, "Oh, Nia, you're the builder. You put all of it." Like he was the original inventor. He doesn't remember that part yet, though. I guess.
No, that did not come back to him yet, I guess.
Yeah, they love forgetting about Jay being the inventor guy.
Yeah, they gave
Hopefully
it to
not
Nia,
forever.
and then they forgot about Nia, and then gave it to Pixel, and then forgot about Pixel, and then gave it to Sora, and then it's back to Nia, I guess. So
Like Jay was the one who made the Destiny's Bounty fly back in the day. Like bro's been
again, Nia
slacking on
made
making
the
vehicles.
DBX, but also
He
that
did.
hasn't been. No, like Nia made the DBX and all of those, but also they stopped being used after like the main episode. Again, back to the final battle.
Yeah,
Okay, just continue, Landon.
sorry. I was just kind of gathering my thoughts, but I think my biggest like I saw it described as like corporate stuff, like budget reasons or whatever. But it's like because there's that scene, I think it's in 9, where like Lloyd comes to realize that his power, being the elemental master of life. Oh, there's a few things I guess I wanted to mention. I do like that line where it's like, yeah, I've been called the master of energy and power, but nothing's ever really fit. So I guess life is like 100% his official power
Yeah.
game, which I do like.
I do
it's
like that
fun.
they did bring up the other names.
Yeah, and another thing they brought up during the enemy Lloyd section, how like enemy Lloyd was talking to him. He's like, "You'll never be like the leader Master Wu was, or even Cole." I thought that was a little cool line. I'm like, because we knew.
Yeah, how they mentioned Cole. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we knew like at least during the pilots that Cole was like the leader of the team.
They never
But, like,
felt
who-
like there was a
Yeah.
leader in their teams, but
Well, because yeah, when he said that, I went back just to double check. I'm like, did I hear that right? And like, yeah, it was just cool hearing like that Cole was like the leader.
yeah, I always knew he was the leader.
The-
But
Yeah, well, I did too, but it never really was addressed, and I think little moments like that are cool. But anyway, I guess trying to get back to the finale, my bad. With that whole scene of him like connecting to his friends and like all their eyes glowing green, and except for Ryu for some reason.
Yeah, we were confused by that too.
you're like Elemental Master, but and then immediately like Aaron
Showed Aaron's eyes.
I was like, well,
Yeah.
clearly he doesn't think Ryu's his friend. Like,
Yeah, and Ryu looks back at the camera and his eyes just don't change, which is weird. But it's
weird.
it's just so weird because like okay, then those are like the people he's closest with, makes sense. And then when they all get their dragon forms, they all don't get the dragon forms because you get Nia, Kai, Jay, and Zane, which is cool, but Cole doesn't get it.
I mean, Cole was
And none of
also
them
in his like Earth form, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the main reason they didn't. Because, like, he does have the suit at the end of season 4. So, like, he
For some
definitely
reason,
got
yeah.
it. He definitely got it.
At some point, he learned that ability.
But,
Or-
yeah, like, and, like, Aaron, I could look past Aaron because he's not an elemental master.
Yeah.
But, like Wildfire and Sora not getting it is confusing to me. Like, is it because they're so inexperienced? Is it just because Lloyd has known the others longer and is like closer to them?
Lego hates
Is
them.
like, I mean, it's probably because Lego hates them. But like, what's the actual like in-universe reason?
We'll
why
find
they
it out
don't
on
get it?
Twitter soon enough.
We probably will find it out on Twitter because they sure aren't going to explain it in the show.
Unfortunately not, but I
Oh,
do think if there is a show explanation, it's probably just going to be like, well, he's known the OG6 in total a lot longer.
Yeah, probably. What are your thoughts? Because we were talking about this as well. Lloyd's dragon form voice.
I think it's pretty cool.
I don't like it.
Yeah, we don't like
Really.
it.
We don't like it at all. It just doesn't
like him.
like Nia also had like a different like voice. Like hers is like a just like a deeper version where like Lloyd
it
just
still
sounded
sounded
like
like
a different character. I wasn't a fan
did
of it.
sound like a different character.
Yeah,
Like,
I thought that was the charm, though. It's like, I finally know what the true meaning of the Green Ninja is.
Yeah, but it would have been cooler if it sounded like Lloyd.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, you don't have to agree.
You don't have to agree with us. Like, if you like it, then
I'm just like trying to understand your point of view.
I don't know. It's just very weird. My whole point of it just didn't sound like Lloyd, so I didn't like it.
Yeah, because at first I was like, okay, his voice changes. That's kind of cool. And like, but I just can't hear it as Lloyd. It doesn't sound like Lloyd is speaking, in my opinion.
Yeah, because I'm just so used to his normal voice, and then when he
Like, I
takes
feel
the
like
mask off and depowers, he uses his normal voice, and it goes back to that different voice.
I mean, yeah, it was interesting. But I guess my biggest thing was like, is there going to be like an in-universe reason as to why?
No.
I know.
What, like why his voice changes? I just assume it's
No,
the
I
dragon
meant like
form.
an in-universe reason as to why not all the ninja got
Oh.
dragon forms. I mean, Ryu's already a dragon, so it's like,
Well,
Also, the weird
that
comment
in-
with you, Fish, like, you got a tail? I wish I could get a tail. That was
She grabs his
she
tail.
grabs his tail.
Like, let go of his tail, bro.
Like, come
Like,
on, Euphrasia, calm down.
yeah.
you're not part of the team, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, your eyes also turned green for some reason.
She's you watch you pick season 4 part 2 picks up. She's gonna be at the monastery training. You watch, it's gonna happen.
Oh, probably. What else
And I
by
like
the?
her. We don't have
I do like your freezer. We just don't have room.
room. The
But like with
monasteries-
also I do think like I don't. Also, the final battle was also just a repeat of season 1. It was Beatrix with a giant like dragon powered weapon and.
It was very similar to season 1's finale, where it's her in her mech with a big, powerful weapon she probably shouldn't have access to in Imperium fighting the ninja. Like, weirdly similar to the season 1 finale.
Like, I don't know if that was what they were trying to do or if they're just retreading old ideas. Speaking of retreading old ideas, their powers are gone.
yeah, and
Yeah, I'm sick of that
are
plot
they
hole.
just back now because of Lloyd's connection power?
Probably.
Or, like,
Probably.
Seems like it.
I don't like the lack of power give like they do it every other season.
It's too frequent.
I thought it was
"Oh, no, we lost
more
our
acceptable
powers."
this time though because like they're on their fritz, so they're not just like
Ye-
deactive. So like they could just like, go off or they could not.
Yeah, but it's still this is like the 10th time I counted it. This is the 10th time that they used the no powers.
Yeah, it still does bug me a little bit. 'Cause
And
it's
they
like
still always act like this is the end of the world. You've been through this 9 other times, guys.
it
This
kept
is the- this
annoying
is-
me
this
that
is
they
the
kept
se-
trying to use their powers.
This is
when
the
they're
second
on the
time
fritz,
in
not
DR
working.
where you lost your powers. This is nothing new.
No.
Yeah, it's and it's like you know how to fight without them. So like why are we trying to use them?
Yeah, like the thing with Sora, like we just gotta use our ninja power. We can't rely on our powers. We just gotta use like our ninja skills or something.
Like no duh. Like
So that part was also a little annoying. With the powers, like our powers are weird, and then like they're like, okay, I guess we can't use them, and then they just don't use them for the rest of the season, like, but they always
And
have to
this-
keep on trying to use them.
I do think it's important to reiterate that we do actually like this season.
I
Like,
do, I
know-
do like this season. I'm just expressing my opinions.
Yes, our many issues with it because we have many issues with it.
I still enjoyed it. Episode
I still
6 and
liked
up,
it too.
but like it got some problems.
It does
I
have
know we are not in. We don't have the popular opinion. I'm seeing a lot of people love this season.
a lot of people are saying it's like the best part of Dragon's Rising so far. I don't agree, but
It feels
you
like
know,
a side quest, really.
yeah, actually that's like the main thing I really want to bring up is how kind of just like it feels like a side story. It doesn't really feel like it progressed the main plot of Dragon's Rising very much. I mean, I guess I would rather them use this time to get Jay's memories back and do the ritual of unrooting before like it gets in the way of like
a major.
a bigger story. Yeah, like how finding Aaron's parents completely like threw the plot off entirely during season 3, you know? Like so
Yeah.
it's good to get that stuff out of the way before we go on to something more major. But I don't know, this whole season really did feel like a side plot, like they were doing a big side quest here. What do you think about that take, Landon?
Well, I didn't think I'd be higher on the season than you guys, admittedly. I definitely am. I don't think it's the best TR has to offer quite yet. We'll see how part 2 is, but
Okay, well,
yeah, I understand that like it felt like very side questy. Like,
yeah.
I feel like this team goes here, do this. This team does that.
Again, like
so-
the side quest wasn't like I still liked it. You know, I'm
Yeah,
not saying
and,
I'm
like-
hating the side quest, but like it felt.
The whole side quest doesn't necessarily just end there. Like it applies to like Beatrix to an extent as well, because like if she's not gonna be okay, and this is assuming she's not relevant in part 2. If she does come back as the main bad guy in part 2, then like everything I'm about to say means nothing. But considering how it looks like she's been defeated, then that also applies to the whole loyalists and her also just being a part of this big side quest where she's just a villain here to fulfill the final battle of part 1 so then part 2 can focus on Roz or something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like even to an extent right now, her and the loyalists feel like part of this big side story. Like they don't even really feel like
Yeah.
they progress the plot with the
Like
elemental
this
monsters or
this one
anything.
feels more like a Masters of Spinjitzu season where because like each season was like not connected. It did feel more along the lines of that where
Yeah,
the next season's just
this-
gonna pick up randomly.
Yeah. That is kind of how it feels. Like I have no idea how part 2 can be connected to part 1 aside from the whole elemental monster things. Assuming that the elemental monsters are actually still out there because
Yeah,
initially during the finale I thought that only the monsters Beatrix summoned were erased, but now you guys have me questioning if that's actually the case. Because, like, what if all the elemental monsters are gone now? Like, then where, like, really, where does the plot go for part 2? Like,
Yeah.
part 2 is going to be completely disconnected from season 4 if Beatrix and the elemental monsters were both wrapped up here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so strange.
I know we're saying a lot here, Landon, but I would like to hear what you have to say about everything we're saying.
Yeah, go.
Okay, I'm gonna. No, I'm just listening. My favorite season of DR is season 1. Obviously, I made no secret about that amongst our discussions, and I probably even stood on a couple streams before in the past
Maybe.
on the other channels, maybe. But if not, then that's out in the world. My favorite season is season 1. I just feel like it did everything consistently in the sense that, like, first 10 episodes, finding the team, training the ninja, learn the goal. Part 2, carry out that goal, find some more new ninja, train them.
It is the most cohesive.
Yeah.
It's the
one
only
big
two parts
story.
it's the only season where both parts actually feel like one big season rather than two
Yeah.
separate seasons.
Yeah, and I really like that. Like, as much as I love Lord Roz and all that as a villain, and like his motives and all that, and him getting the source icons and all that, if it is just like, I do hope part 2 is just more Beatrix, the loyalist, and the monsters, because I just like that big consistent story.
No, I would absolutely love for part 2 to still focus on her. Like, I would love to be wrong about her not coming back.
Yeah,
Like,
I wanted to come back. She was
I-
fun.
I loved the loyalists, and she has potential to be like a really cool ninja. Like, I already like her as a villain, but she has potential to be like a super good villain here if she actually still continues to be a threat in part 2. So, like, I want her to come back. I want the loyalists there. I think the monsters are going to be relevant in part 2 no matter what. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong there too, but, like, I do still want her to be a part of the story in part 2.
Yeah.
But, like, just with how part 1 ended, like, I don't know. It kind of looks like she's been beat. I'm not going to lie. I could be wrong, but that's just how it looks to me. I don't know. And I would love to be wrong, because then part 1 would feel like less of a big, like, side story, like we've been saying. Like, if everything with the Loyalists and Beatrix actually amounts to something, then that retroactively makes part 1 better if part 2 continues to focus on her.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
Landon? Right? Yeah.
I think it's wishful thinking. Unfortunately, I don't think it's super likely, as much as I want it to be like the outcome.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like, and I don't necessarily mind if we go back to like Lord Roz and like the Shadow Dojo, in the sense that, like, I think it would be cool to like see Cinder again and Jordana. Like,
No, they're not
because
coming back.
Yeah.
I know,
We're going.
but it would be cool. But ideally, we just get more of Beatrix, the monsters, and the Loyalist.
Yeah, because they also set up that Sora's parents are with them.
I forgot about
which is
that.
the covert Loyalist still.
Yeah, because they were loyalists, which was kind of like, wow, Sora's parents really do suck. And now, like I feel like they're gonna try and like feed her some kind of like Beatrix propaganda or something like that. That's
Yeah.
definitely their like motive.
Now, I do have a question. Do you think they're going to try to redeem the parents?
I hope not.
Yeah, do I think they'll try? Yeah. Do I hope it works? No.
Honestly, don't think they will try
Yeah.
because like.
I hope they just stay as horrible parents.
Because I feel like if they were going to redeem her parents, it would have happened in season 1 when they showed up. And, like, as Beatrix is literally blasting people with her big gun, they're still like, honey, why don't you like the Empress? What's wrong with you?
What's
And
wrong with
it's
this?
like, do you see what she's doing? She's walking around in a big robot shooting portals at people and like presumably killing them. Like I know they didn't actually die, but like
You don't know that.
for all they knew in the moment, these people are dying, and it's like, well, yeah, of course I don't support the Empress, but they were still on her side. So like if they're still on her side with her doing all that, presumably killing people, I feel like they can't be redeemed now, especially
Yeah.
now that it's been revealed that they were loyalists. So they were even still on her side, even more like for however many months or time has passed since Beatrix was
Defeated.
defeated.
I think
Yeah.
it's personally been like a year or two.
Yeah, like, and now they have helped the Empress come back to the city to, once again, presumably, try and kill a bunch of people with monsters. So, like, I feel like they're past the point of redemption at this
Yeah.
point.
I like that's the only like thing we could really talk about for like future. It's just I am excited to see how, because like I really do like Sora's story and her like arcs. So like
Yeah,
I am
a
excited
lot.
to see what like happens with like her parents being back.
Her parents being back and considering how they were loyalists actually, like, does give me a little bit of hope that maybe the loyalists and Beatrix aren't done yet.
Yeah.
Hope not.
Hope not.
Yeah.
So is
Another
the
question I have
okay.
is like when it comes to Draconis or Dragon Form, whatever you want to call it, if that's like just a new ability that ninja have that they can just kind of whip out whenever.
Like an air jutsu thing. I don't know. Because like
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like, do they just like continue to have those suits forever then?
I don't
guess, right?
know.
Like,
Or
they gotta transform into a dragon.
yeah, or would
I'm
it just
probably gonna forget how to use them eventually or something.
season
probably
5 they're
after
gonna
it's
stop using them, yeah.
Because obviously Draconis form is pretty overpowered if the final battle's anything to go off of. And we all know how they feel about giving the ninjas overpowered abilities. The writers gotta revoke them eventually. So I'm sure Draconis form is not gonna be around for very long.
Yeah.
I just hope that they give an actual in-universe reason in the show as to why they stop using it or something. Because
Yeah.
I
Drains too
already
much
know
of
it's
your
going to
energy.
happen.
Or that Lloyd can't sustain the connection between too many people for so long.
Yeah, it'll probably be something like that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and they'll continue to use Draconis form forever. But I feel like it's gonna get abandoned at some point.
Yeah,
It only
or like they're
exists
gonna like
to make those two things.
extremely nerfed. Like, oh, I can only use it for, like Landon said, like for a certain amount of time. Or like, oh, I can't do it because I can connect. I don't know.
As
Yeah.
long as there's some reason for it and they don't just forget about it, like the
That's fine.
elemental dragons and airjitsu, then yeah, like it's fine. It is what it is. I know the main purpose of those suits is just to have
Sell
the
the sets,
minifigures.
yeah.
So is what it is.
So, is there anything else?
Yeah, I mean a lot of people really like the animation in season 4.
I thought it was all
Um,
right.
I thought it was good. I think the fights in season 3 were better though, and in season 2. I think season 2 and 3 has it beat because a lot of people are saying like, oh my gosh, these are the best fight scenes I've ever seen in
No, they
Ninjago, and it's like,
Okay,
it's like-
you could convince me with some like when they first introduced the monsters and it was like
yeah,
that one was a
very
good
cool
fight.
cinematic.
And then
Yeah.
the evil Lloyd fight I thought was pretty good. But like if you compare like all the fights like again the season 2 fight with Cinder and Lloyd, like that one was A great fight.
Or even the season 2 fight with Roz and Lloyd.
Yeah.
Or even the season 2 fight with Noct at the end against like everyone. That was like peak, bro. Or even like when they fight Thunderfang in part 1 of season 3. Like that was probably the best fight scene I've ever seen in the anime, I think.
Yeah,
That
like
was
I
super
don't
impressive.
like again. There are some good scenes. Like again, like Ryu versus the mutation
Yes,
monster. That was
yes, I like
really
that.
good.
That was hype. Ryu was so hype right then.
Yeah.
He aura farmed so hard on that dude.
Yeah.
I can't help but feel a little disappointed by the final battle though. Like
The
I feel
final
like it should have been
battle was.
it should have been a lot more cinematic than it was, I feel. With like the dragon forms like and they're flying around like I don't know how it wasn't a little more
Yeah, it was a little disappointing.
insane. So I think that like season 4 has season 1 beat in terms of like fights and animation, but I
That's
still
about
think
it.
season 2 and 3 are definitely king when it comes to fight
Yeah.
scenes, I think. What do you think, Landon?
I do agree that the part 1 fight of season 3 with the Ninja and Thunderfang is probably the best fight scene I've ever seen in the show.
Yeah, that
But I
that
do
was
think I don't think anything in season 4 surpasses that, but I definitely think it keeps up the same quality.
Okay.
it's not necessarily that the quality of
Yeah,
it
it
was
didn't
bad.
drop.
It's just there weren't as many crazy fights. I feel like
Yeah.
there really was like and like even like the evil Lloyd one. Like it was good, but it was definitely like slower paced as well. Like it was kind of good in like a different way, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess the only fight where like I really feel like it maybe didn't live up to its true potential was the final battle. Like I feel like it could have been more cinematic. I guess I don't know. I mean, hey, it's better than the Spectral Thunderfang fight. That one was really lackluster.
Yeah. That one was a little stinky, a little boring.
Honestly, like I. I feel like season 4 has grown on me a little bit at this point to where like I don't know if I'd classify it as the quote unquote worst part of Dragons Rising because like man, part 2 of season 3 like I don't know man that really upsets me that one I don't really that one was really disappointing I don't know.
Yeah.
Season 4 might be better and it might have part 2 of season 3 be not part 1. I still like part 1 more than part 1 of part 4. Dude, I can't stand the names. I can't stand the names. Can we get named season backs, please? Like, I'm having a stroke trying to convey my thoughts right now.
Which
I
part
just
is
want to
what?
say, I like season 4 part 1 more than I like season 3 part 2, but I still like season 3 part 1 more than season 4 part 1. There, I said it. My goodness. Can we start naming these again, guys? Like, please? It's really annoying having to, like, talk like that. But, yeah. Season 3, Part 2 was lame. But I'm not going to get into that right now.
Yeah.
So I could talk about that all night.
I know you can. You have. Is there anything else you want to mention? Because I think I got all my thoughts out.
Pretty much everything has been said, right?
Landon, what about you?
I can't think of anything else at the moment.
Okay. Well, I think we could end this now. Nice hour and 18. Wow, that's longer than I expected us to be talking for.
Yeah, I mean, once again, like we gave our thoughts. Like, if you watch this in the future, like Tell us what you think in the comments below.
And we might do this
Like
for
the
like
video.
part 2 or something as well.
We're gonna do it for part 2. Don't listen to him. We're gonna do it.
I
I-
hope so.
Overall, me and Steven still liked season 4. We just kind of felt it was a little
Side
bit more on the
questy.
mid side of things. Yeah. And Landon, I assume liked it quite a bit.
I liked it a fair bit, yeah. I'm definitely gonna have to give it another rewatch just to, I like to rewatch the new stuff like twice, just I guess to get my fix of it. But
It would be nice to watch it again.
yeah,
Pacing
I think
early on though. The pacing. Oh
The-
my gosh.
Yeah, I remember like at the end we were talking about like, yeah, if we're gonna like rewatch this, like we could
We're skipping the first couple episodes because my god, the pacing is so bad.
yeah. I don't
But
like
yeah,
skipping episodes, but like yeah. But yeah, make sure you what?
Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Leave a comment. See you in the next video.
Yep, goodbye. Do you want to say bye, Landon?
see ya.
Okay.